Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. Um, I'm going to start off with a little tip about call to actions, and then we're going to go right into planning our week for the week, going through Monday through Saturday, basically. Goose morning, Stephanie. Um, but I am on a retreat right now in lovely Wisconsin. It is freezing. Long time no see. You're funny. Star is also on this retreat with me. But one thing I do want to bring up that a girl brought up. No, it's not snowing actually. One girl brought up that you know how Instagram has reels, Facebook now has reels, TikTok has short video. Roxy had brought up that YouTube has what's called shorts. That's kind of the same thing, and she's seeing tons of growth on there. So I would definitely encourage, if you don't have a YouTube channel, maybe to set one up, or at least to start looking at that, going onto YouTube and looking at the shorts and seeing how that works, because she said that she's gotten lots and lots of views on YouTube shorts because it's something that's new over there. So anytime there's a new feature on any social media platform, I highly recommend that you take advantage of that right when it starts to come out, because anyone that creates content initially with a new feature, they push out right away because they're trying to get more people and content to be able to put out. So I want to first talk about call to actions and why they're so important with your social media. You can post about your products, you can post about the opportunity all day, every day. But if you're not placing some sort of call to action on your posts, your following doesn't know how to reach you, or it doesn't open the door for them to be able to reach you. And I'm going to give you some examples of call to actions that you can put on your post. I'm going to try to slow down because last week I think I talked really fast. So an example of a call to action might be something like, on your post about the products, you say something like, my inbox is open, reach out to me. I want to have this for you. Have you ever felt this way? Who else can relate to that? Those are like openings. Oh yeah, it didn't snow a whole lot. Stuff like that, so that it gives your audience the permission to reach out to you, or the best way for you to be contacted. I did this Instagram course a while back, and the person that was hosting that Instagram course was talking about how sometimes you have to teach your audience how to interact with you. So if sometimes a call to action can be on engagement posts where you're like, double tap on Instagram, double tap if you relate to this, or save this post for a future reference. Yes, started a call to action where she was talking about like, check out my stories. And that is a really good one, because sometimes people only stay on the news feed, or sometimes people are only in the stories. So cross-referencing in a call to action too is a really good idea, because maybe they don't see your lives, or maybe they are only the type of people that go on the timeline and they never watch your stories. And so if you're making a post, you can be like, check out my stories for more information, check out my stories to see what we're up to this weekend. And then that's going to boost your story views and push it out to more people, or vice versa. If you're talking about something in your stories and it ends up being more than like 4 or 5 slides, I always say that's probably something you should do in the live video, instead of having a billion slides in your stories. So you can initially bring up the topic and then say, reference back to the live video I just did, or reference back here to the next slide where I am showing you the Instagram TV that I did. So giving people directions, because sometimes they either are too afraid or they don't know how you like to be contacted, and that gives them an idea of the way to do that. So call to actions, so important, because again, you can say like, this stuff is amazing and I love it, and they're like, okay, cool. But if you're not telling them like, this will help you to reach out to me if you have questions, you're opening that door for them to do that. So with that being said, we're going to move into planning our week, starting with Monday. Move my seat over a little bit. There. Okay. Starting with Monday. Okay. So if you haven't been on the Zoom, we break down Facebook, Instagram / second Facebook post, and then we go into stories. So for Monday, what do you love about your mornings now? Like, how are your mornings different? Because there's a lot of people that still struggle with mornings or Mondays. How are Mondays different? Again, this is how I was brought into this business. Was Stephanie had posted, if you hate Mondays, we should probably chat. And that happened to be a really bad Monday. So I reached out to her at that point. A lot of people struggle with Mondays, and our products can help them with that. So, so that's what I would recommend for Facebook. On Instagram, let's inspire. This can also be your second Facebook post. So either you can post the inspire first and then later on Facebook do the Monday thing. But on Instagram, creating a quote. Again, we're content creators, not content sharers. I try to make some sort of theme with my page on Instagram so that it's eye appealing and using a certain color scheme. So creating my own quotes, taking quotes, and then just recreating them to make them my own. Stories show how you have energy throughout the day. Like, it's one thing because their coffee gives them the energy initially in the morning. It's quite the other to have sustained energy all day. And I think it's important that we show that not only do we have energy in the morning, like it's helping us right away, but how it's helping us throughout the day. Because if you're talking about all day energy, but then you're not showing it in your stories, they're just going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if you're showing, like, at night you're folding laundry, or at night you're playing with your kids, or you're at your kids' activity or whatever, then they can see like, oh, this is something I need, because I struggle at that time of day with having energy to do all the things. Like, I never do my laundry on a Monday, or I, just don't have the energy to do all that stuff. Okay. So Tuesday, Facebook, let's do a payday post. We're going to talk about the holidays coming up. So starting with some sort of question or something that's going to prompt them to think. Who else relates to this? If you've struggled with holiday purchases before in the past, yourself, talk about that. If you struggle with, just you are a last minute shopper because you're waiting for that last paycheck, talk about that. And in the beginning of that, you've got to have something that is going to talk to the person that's reading it. So saying something along the lines of, who else can relate to this? Have you ever waited till the last minute to do your Christmas shopping because you were waiting for a paycheck? Or trying to think of some other examples, like who else stresses out during the holidays, or are the holidays a stressful time for you, or something that's truly joyful? And then talk about how getting paid every single Tuesday helps you with that, because this can supplement on top of income to be able to buy Christmas gifts or the bonuses in the first 14 days, however you want to spin that. But talking about in the beginning, relating to the person, and then the end of the post, talking about how this will help. Or you could do a Black Label for patience. Yes, totally. Patience during the holidays needed. Instagram, we are going to do a carousel. If you don't know what a carousel is, I realize that sometimes people come in, like maybe this is your first time. There is a video I did where I specifically went in and showed how to do carousels, but we're going to teach or educate our audience on something that's related to your niche. Now, if you're still doing like the 5 things, it can be one of the 5 things, something to provide value to your audience so they continually come back to your page. And a way that I like to do this is with a carousel, because a carousel on Instagram is multiple slides. So like people in the past would use this to, like, let's say you had pictures taken with your family, you could show like all the different pictures and people slide through them. The reason that this is so beneficial is because not only will Instagram show the first picture, but like later on in the day, it'll take the second clip and repopulate it to people. So your post is getting shown to people multiple times. Stories, screenshot the email with your paycheck or the commissions transferred little green thing that happens when you hit transfer my commissions. And what is it helping you with this week? And just having like a small blurb. Like sometimes you don't have to go into like crazy detail and like share a billion slides. Sometimes it's the simplest posts that get to people. So if you do not get a paycheck, don't allow this to deter you. All you can do is talk about how you are, either thriving for free or another aspect of the business that keeps you here. Is it the community? Is it you are working towards a better future for your family? Is it that you just absolutely love the products? Don't ever shy away from talking about the business just because you're not earning a paycheck just yet. Okay, Wednesday on Facebook, we are going to go live and either interview another Thriver or tell your Thrive story. I think it's so important for us to live share our Thrive story on a continual basis because sometimes people don't catch it right away. Yes, the little things like gas. Let's be honest, gas isn't the cheapest right now. So gas, filling up gas tanks, grocery shopping, all those things, even the little things help. So going live and sharing what your Thrive story is. You never know who's going to relate to a piece of your story. And if you're not sharing your story, you're missing the opportunity to connect with somebody. So you can talk about how you have energy all day and you can show like your patch every single day or your capsules or whatever, all those things. But if they don't know where you came from or where you were prior to Thrive, they will always just think that this was your life and you're trying to sell them something. But if you explain your story, then they're able to see the transformation in your life. Like you can talk about how you were tired and yelling at your kids. And this is my personal story. Yelling at your kids and struggling to get them on the bus stop and hitting the snooze button and falling asleep on the couch after work and like all those things, because something in that story is going to relate to where they're at right now. And if you're not talking about where they're at currently, if you're only talking about the energy you have now, you're going to miss the boat. And interviewing somebody else that's a Thriver that might have a slightly different story than you may pique the interest of somebody else. And it allows people to see that you're not the only person that's thriving. Like there are other people out there with similar or different stories that see benefits with this product. So going live on Facebook. So we're going to get super uncomfortable on Wednesday because on Instagram, we're going to do a reel. So either this is a pre-recorded reel you did earlier in the week or one that you have saved or one that you did do that day. It can be quick. It can be easy. It can be towards your niche. If you really want to do something Thrive related, you can totally do that. I just want to encourage you to get out and do a reel because Wednesdays are typically the best days for reels. So stories, we are going to engage with our audience with polls. So you can either do like a holiday poll series. Thanksgiving is coming up. So talking about like, what are your favorite dishes? Do you prefer mashed potatoes or green beans? Do you like stuffing or the turkey or like whatever, like some sort of poll series to engage people because it will reboost your stories to other people when they show that a bunch of people are engaging with it. So any sort of poll series that you want to do, but multiple slides of polls. So at least 3 or 4 slides that have polls on them. Thursday, Black Friday. Yes. Cyber Monday. All those things. Who Black Friday? Do you Black Friday shop? Yes or no? Do you shop on Cyber Monday? Yes or no? Do you actually go shopping on Thanksgiving itself? Yes or no? Like asking all those questions in a series of slides. Thanks, Star. That was a really good point. Thursday, share your Thrive bedtime routine. So we want to also showcase that we have other products other than the 3 steps in case that somebody else can relate to that aspect. So do you use rest? Do you use a skincare routine before you go to bed? Do you use balance or biotic or chill or like any sort of thing that Thrive helps you with at bedtime? Is it recharge that you're recharging your immune system while you sleep? So sharing your Thrive bedtime routine. Instagram, we are going to share tools that you use that relate to your niche. So maybe this is, I'll give you mine, for example, like what are the differences between different types of Bibles? What apps do I use to grow in my faith? How do you, I don't know, any sort of tool that you use that's going to relate to your niche. So if you're a homeschool mom, what resources do you use for homeschooling? Like where do you get your material, that sort of thing. If you're somebody that is in recovery, like what are things that you used when you either started your recovery or what you use currently to help you through it on a daily basis. Any sort of tool that's going to provide value to people that relates to your niche. Oh, I'm not done with Thursday. Stories. Stories. Share all 3 steps in your stories together. So this can either be you talking people through the 3 steps and why each of them are so beneficial, or it can be showing you taking your all 3 steps in the morning. There is a reason for this that we're doing all 3 together on a Thursday. But make sure that you're showcasing all 3 and sharing the benefits of why those are so important or what they even specifically help you with, each individual one. Friday, this is why we're sharing all 3 steps in our stories on Thursday, the day before, is because Friday we're going to talk about samples, or you can do Flex Friday if you like doing Flex Friday. So in the sample post, again, I am pretty repetitive with my Fridays. You can either share one of the things that shows like the different mailers and then the post-its on it, or you can show like samples all over the countertop and say that you're packing up samples, or you can go live and show that you're packing up samples and tell people about what's included in them, that sort of thing. You can even combine the 2. Yes. Instagram, we're going to do another reel on Friday. Make it something fun and light and funny. People kind of want to be entertained through their day on Friday, and try to post it, I would say like early afternoon, like before 6 o'clock. Stories, talk about your samples in your stories. You already introduced all 3 steps, and you can say like, I know I shared the 3 steps that I do every day. I'm actually packing up samples this weekend if you wanted to try them. Here's what's included in it, whatever. And then doing a poll, never putting the answer no, either doing like, yes, send me one, or help me customize, or whatever you want to put as your second option for your poll.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I notice a lot of times people tell me straight up that they're scared or they're nervous. And that's what I will put. Like I will put, yes, please send me one, or I'm scared, or I'm feeling nervous. And people have really selected that. So then it puts me in their messenger and I can talk to them about like, why are they fearing this? You know, what's holding them back? So it creates that opportunity to just talk more to them. And then I can be like, well, you know, with that in mind, it could really help you, something like that.
Such a good point, because I think that it's important for us to not pretend like people aren't afraid. Like it's always peaches and rainbows and no, everybody just loves this opportunity or whatever. Like, yeah, we can show that part, but you also need to address the apprehensions that people are having. Like, are they feeling like they're worried because of what people are going to think? They're worried about like because they've tried other things in the past and they haven't worked, yada yada yada. Talking about those things makes you, it shows that you really care about the person. Like you're not just trying to be a snake oil salesman. You're actually addressing that these are natural fears that people have, and I actually had them too. And this is like why I'm here to help you walk through that process of being afraid, or like answer any questions that you have or whatever it might be. But super, super good point, because I think we're so thinking that like everyone just wants this, or that everyone's just like ready to hop on, or they might have questions, but we never open the door for them to ask. So that's such a good point. Thanks, Star. Saturday, we're going to do on Facebook, how is Thrive helping you through the weekend? So like, what are you doing throughout the weekend that Thrive is helping you with? You can do like a small business Saturday post if you want. You can show how, because I mean, usually people are home with their families and they're doing all the things that they can't get done on the weekdays. That's me. I did like 5 loads of laundry last weekend. So showing those things that you're doing and how it's not just you sitting on the couch all weekend anymore. It's like you actually getting up and being active and doing things. Instagram, we're going to inspire, or you can do another reel, something quick, because people don't typically engage a ton on Saturdays. They're out busy doing their own things. So inspire or do something fun and light. Stories, show your weekend. What are you doing? Allow people the opportunity to connect with you on a personal level that isn't Thrive related. So are you going grocery shopping? Show how you buy your groceries. Are you getting ready for the holidays? Like, are you decorating your home? Like, what are you doing on the weekend that has zero to do with Thrive and everything about being able to have people connect to you on a personal basis? So Sundays are typically a day where I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and either don't go on at all or just post infrequently. But another short Zoom again today, but yeah. Any questions? I'm going to go through the chat real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, no, nothing in the chat. Anything you want to add, Star, since you're here with me? I can see your face, by the way.
I know, that's why I put my video on. No, I mean, nothing that really pertains to planning your week. I just wanted to share a little experience I had yesterday when I was reaching out to literally everybody about the BOGO. This one lady got back to me and she was just expressing that she's been having a hard time with bills and stuff, and she really wishes she could. She wants to she hasn't ordered since August of 2020, and she really wants to start thriving again. And I said, hey, listen, darling, it's totally okay. I put myself back to being in her shoes, and I, became relatable. And I said, listen, I've been there, the struggle, I know all about it. I said, perhaps this would be a good time to really consider the business opportunity. I woke up and I have a new promoter. So I'm really excited for her. And she told me, she's like, I'm just scared that I'll fail because I failed all other direct sales that I've tried. And I said, me too, sister, it's different here. Let me show you. And like I said, I woke up this morning to that email that she hit that button. So you just have to remember, like these days where Megan was saying, be relatable and share the things, and then like I said too, on Tuesday, talking about those little things, like that's something that I lost, I guess, I don't know, my touch with in 2020. I'll just be honest with you. I think the money started getting to my head a little bit, and I forgot to share. Like I was sharing the big things we were doing. I was sharing, taking my family to the beach, a bunch of freaking times last year. I stopped sharing, how it was helping me with groceries and how it was helping me with diapers, and how I remember pulling up the last wipey out of a wipey container, wondering how am I going to wipe my kid's ass, the next diaper change. I forgot those small things. So don't forget those small things, because people, like, just because you grow, it doesn't mean like the whole fucking world grows too. Like you have to put yourself back there and just remember where you came from.
Yes, because I mean, honestly, it wasn't like the flashy things that got me into the business. Just like you said, for me, it was really like I was struggling to put gas in my car. I had to ask, as a 2-year-old woman, grown ass woman with three kids, I had to ask my dad to come get gas for me because my card was declined and I couldn't get gas. I was like, how embarrassing is that? People relate to those little things that you might think is insignificant because again, you've grown out of that, but there are probably still people within your timeline or that are following you that are still in that place right there. And we are one of the only opportunities that gives you the ability to join for completely free. Completely free. You don't have to pay for a website. You don't have to pay a monthly fee, none of those things. So I think we think like, oh, they have to get one of these packages, but we do have the free option. Don't ever forget about that. That shouldn't be something you do like all the time. Obviously, we want to encourage people to get a package because it helps get the product in their hand. But there is a free opportunity. I have a girl that I know that Star knows that she's on Stephanie's team that came in for completely free because she lost everything in a fire and went VIP 1600. So like it's a possibility if somebody truly wants it. So let me see. I did say Wednesday is a reel. Answer that question. Oh, you're so welcome, Katie. I'm glad you could join us.
Hey, what did you say? Friday for Instagram and Saturday for Instagram?
Fridays for Instagram is a reel.
Okay.
And then Saturday is just inspire. So that can be either sharing your own story, that can be another reel. Like it's totally good for you to do reels all the time because you never know when one of them will blow up. And it kind of gives you the opportunity to test like what's a better day for your audience too, I think. Cool. Well, if nothing else, I hope everyone has a great, great Saturday. And I'll see you all again next weekend.